Hello, this is Sean Robinson. I wanted to take a few minutes to explain my journey, kind of who I am, where I came from, and by knowing that, hopefully you can see how I might be able to help you more. So my journey is going to start back when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I came from a broken home. There were drugs and alcohol and parties. My sister moved out when she was 13. My brother got his girlfriend pregnant when he was barely 17 or 16. And I was stuck there in the middle of all of that. And I actually moved out of the house when I was 16 into my girlfriend's house. So that's the beginning. Doesn't look like a very strong future, if you will, for that. But I had some great role models. My brother and sister were exactly the role models of what you didn't want to do. I moved out of the house because there was no food in my house, actually. My mom was very ill. She was in the hospital for about 9 months that year. So it made sense for me to be able to move out of the house, and I did. But I kept my grades up, and I found something that I was really good at. And here's an old photo. There it is. And this is me running the high hurdles. I ended up getting a full scholarship in the high hurdles, and I went to a local college, and I only went for 1 year because I just couldn't see, it just seemed like forever to go to a four-year university, and I wanted to get paid to learn. So I went into the military where I knew I could get paid to learn, and I found the hardest program I could find, which is Naval Nuclear Power, because it had a good future for jobs once I was out of the military. So I made it through, I went through and got in, and I ended up going on submarines, and I realized I hated the military. So there you go. So I'm in the middle. Of course, you can't just quit the military, right? But I found another thing that I thought could get me out of the military, and that was Amway. Amway was going to save me. And in the first 16 days, I got 16 people started. In the first month, I got 30 people started. It was going perfectly. Then I went out to sea, and those 30 people went with me. Yes, I got a lot of the people in the sub with me in the program. And you know what? Not much can happen when you can't talk to people out of the sub and you can't buy anything and all of those types of things. So my Amway experience was not what I had hoped. But 3 things came of it. I learned that I love to learn. I learned that I loved the self-help books and tapes. And finally, that a little bit of that network marketing got right here in my heart. You can't really dislodge it once it's there, as if you've never done it, you'll realize. That learning drove me to where when I was out of the military, I went back to school and I got my bachelor's degree, and then I got my master's degree, and it was a technical degree, and I became a software engineer, and I did that for 6 years at IBM. It was a great experience, wonderful. And I also realized that sitting in front of a computer all day, every day is not my big thing either. So I got out of doing that. I went into more of a technical sales role. That went pretty well. Fast forward to now, I've really expanded into the social media realm, and I can help people get on the first page of Google and do all of that. But I also consult network marketers, network marketing companies, and I have my own company. Now here's my goal and my mission, if you will. I want to impact hundreds of thousands of people with their health and their wealth. And it comes back to a very personal story. You see, I gave a product to someone. When I gave that product to that person, she was very ill, bedridden, on tons of medications. Actually, it was $4,500 a month in prescription meds, and they were not helping. In fact, some of those, she had terrible reactions. Her feet had been eaten away by some of the medications, and she had to have her ankles replaced. She was given a wheelchair, an electric wheelchair, told she'd never walk again. But she kept on taking the products that I gave her, and for 3 months, she didn't feel a thing. The final 3 months, though, all of a sudden she realized she was actually able to do more. And by the 6-month point, she had weaned herself off of all $4,500 worth of prescription meds. It was basically a miracle. And what was really neat for me is that person was my sister. She was a mom of 2, a wife. She had a life that she wanted to live again. And these products gave her that opportunity. And that's one of the reasons why I love network marketing, because it gives people an opportunity to really impact people and help people with their health, as well as their wealth and those other things as well. So, I hope this has helped you understand kind of where I'm coming from, who I am, what I can do for you. Give me a call. My numbers, well, actually, it might change by the time you watch this, but look around. I do not hide. I'm very easy to get a hold of. And if I can't help you, maybe there's some other people that you know that can really be helped by my knowledge and skill. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.